All parents face the lives of their children. For a child, this is one of the ways to adapt to life on society, although disapproved. But the reason why the child is not telling the truth, they can be very different. Children's fantasy is sometimes called a lie. Disorder in emotional life, lack of trust in the world around, negative self-awareness, discord in relations with parents, teachers, peers. All this can push the child to build a more attractive world in fantasies, which becomes a substitute for reality. Lying often occurs when a child is presented with unraveled things of necessary demands or he is constantly on pain of punishment. If a child is deprived of full-fledged communication with you, you are out of reach for him. He has to attract your attention to himself by any means. To change the situation, it's necessary to stretch it and improve the relationship with the child. Do not rip off your fatigue and imprint it on it. The child, tormented by constant moralizing and screaming, begins to lie in order to embellish himself and his behavior. The lies becomes a special defense mechanism for him. This happens most often when the child has to ask you permission to do something and at the same time he thinks or ensure that you will say no. One of the main reasons for lying at any age is fear. The child is lying because he is afraid that he will be punished. Children's deception can be triggered by a large number of prohibitions. If adults are constantly repeating no, that with difficulty enduring the abundance of prohibitions and temptations, the child goes to the trick. So a little deception becomes a way to get that he dreams of, which cannot be obtained in another way, or this point is not yet clear. An important reason is the desire for love and praise. The child begins to boast of non-existence success, lies embraceless exciting one in order to achieve parental encouragement. Most often the parents themselves are to blame for this, who demand too much from the child. The reason for children's lines can be an example of adults when a child is faced with the fact that words do not always correspond to actions, and promises are very quickly forgotten. The day the child discovers then he has been deceived will be the collapse of parental authority. From that day on, he will intentionally allow himself to do the same with adults. Children can lie to protect a friend, and of course the child can lie just to spite. Children are well aware the lying announce adults, and sometimes this is exactly that they want to injure their parents even if they have to endure punishment. Having conducted a survey among adults, I was able to find out how adults understand that a child is lying. Some said that the child chooses not to look into the eyes, turns away, although there are those who lie when looking in the eyes. Others said that the child begins to wrinkle his hands, get nervous, slander one the guys, and turn the conversation to another topic. Thus, we can conclude that no matter how experienced adults are, they cannot always guess that the child is lying.